Laser Up! Welcome everyone to the second video podcast of Laser Up, the place to get all of your laser engraving techniques and projects. Today, I'm going to show you how to color and fill. I know there are lots of people out there that want to understand how to color and fill. They think it's a magical process, that it's very difficult, that it takes a lot of special tricks. All of that couldn't be further from the truth. Alright, so here's our board. Again, this is another piece of pine. I have 4 coats of General Finishes exterior oil finish on it. It is kind of glossy, and then I sand it to get it smooth. And so now it closes up all the pores in the piece of pine. Now here's our mask, and this is just going to fit. This is 12 inches in width, and I line it up on one side, and I stick it down, and then I just roll. Just like that. Then I take my scissors and I just cut. Just like that. Put those to the side. And then I take the yellow squeegee again, and I get it on one side, and then I just carefully start from one side, pushing out all of the air bubbles. Just like that. Okay, we have our board engraved with the mask on, and then what we do here is make sure that the mask is all down, because often when you laser engrave, the edges will start to come up, and then also sometimes the letters that have the small pieces still in them, like the centers of the E, the A, they will start to want to come up. That would be very bad when you go to color and fill. So I take my squeegee and I just go back over it kind of carefully. And I've had the centers of letters, that piece of masking, pop out before. And I've done everything from just use my fingers to put it back in place. A couple of times I've actually glued them back into place with some adhesive, removable adhesive. Okay, so let's get really close up. We're going to do this K, and put a little bit of paint on our brush. Actually, I probably put too much on there. And I just work it in. I try to be fast, yet still precise. Try not to let it puddle up in any one area. Okay, so we finished up and we've painted, color and filled all of the engraving, and it's going to be interesting. We got some bubbling up where the mask started to bubble and lift up from the wood plaque. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out, and we may have some cleanup to do. But that's good. We'll show you some good fixes. Some of the letters didn't get color filled in as dark as others. You know what? That's not a big deal. I don't agonize over that, because after the product's all done and hung, you don't even see it. Alright, so let's talk about drying. It is almost 100% dried. I can tell because there are still some shiny spots that it's not completely dry, but it mostly is. And that means this is a good time to start to lift up the mask. If you were to let this sit for 8 hours, could be a bad deal. You might have the mask, when it's pulled up, tear out the paint from the engraved areas, and then you don't have color infill anymore. You just got a piece of junk. So what I like to do is start on each corner and lift up a little bit. We did get some bleed through. We'll take care of that. Just put that off to the side. Okay, so now we have a lot of mask that's still stuck to the board. This next technique is called weeding. Yeah, just like you weed your garden. It's probably called that because this is about as fun as weeding a garden. It's pretty boring. Okay, I like to use an X-Acto knife. All right, now we can pull some of the pieces out. Just put that down. It's good. Now, see right here we got some bleed through. Let's see what happens when we take this off. So I use the X-Acto knife to gently start to lift some of the mask. And then I just used my my fingers to put it back in. I'm going to do this all the way around. Now, there's some areas where it started to bleed through. I'm actually not too worried about that. I'm going to take a Q-tip with some mineral spirits, and because this is already sealed, it's probably going to come up pretty nicely. And if it doesn't, some very precise sanding in those areas will take care of it as well. But all in all, this is working out very nicely. This is going to be an outdoor sign. I use a couple of different species for outdoor signs. I like redwood. It's not always easy to get. I also like cedar. The wider boards at my wholesale hardware distributor doesn't always carry redwood that's good for signs because it's something less than 3/4 of an inch thick. This is pine, and believe it or not, coated with this General Finishes exterior grade paint is going to work out very nicely. It will hold up outdoors extremely well.